Yo, where our camp countdown has reached 2 days till Chargers rookies report. Ooh. I have asked our esteemed panelists for some burning questions. Bill Barnwell, what's yours?
My burning question is whether the Steelers are actually going to trade T.J. Watt, who is up for a new deal after the season, reportedly wants to be paid appropriately as one of the highest paid edge rushers in all of football. A Steelers team that has basically made moves suggesting they're all in this offseason with a 41-year-old quarterback. Can they really justify trading away their best player when they're in a position to win now with that current roster?
I don't think so. Dominique, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's unlikely. I can't imagine that they would trade him for draft picks because, as Bill said, they're looking to go all in this season. Maybe they could figure out someone that's willing to do a trade like the Fitzpatrick and Jalen Ramsey trade where you trade two talented kind of players who are still can contribute right now. But I see it as unlikely. Like, I think T.J. Watt plays for them this year, and they make as good a run as they possibly can.
Still looking for that contract extension. We will see. Kevin Clark, what's your burning question?
Is Aaron fellas on the other side of the ball? Graz, what's the latest on some pass rusher contract disputes? Let's start with Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals still at an impasse regarding a contract extension. He has publicly said he does not intend to play on his current contract. The Bengals have offered him a short-term extension. He would like a longer-term extension with more guaranteed money in future years. He's 30 years old. The Bengals are hesitant to do that. We'll see if this picks up again as we get closer to camp. Obviously, the Bengals would like to have him there and working. Same with the Steelers and T.J. Watt, another 30-year-old edge rusher who wants a contract extension and doesn't have one. He has not been public about any displeasure, but he did skip mandatory minicamp, and that's obviously a sign that things aren't all okay. When he signed his last contract extension 4 years ago, it took all the way up until September 9th. So if you're expecting a quick resolution here, you may be disappointed. And then Micah Parsons with the Cowboys, likely to come in ahead of everybody and probably be the highest paid non-quarterback in the league when his extension finally gets done. Things seem to be in a pretty good place there. He was at their mandatory minicamp and had participated in parts of their voluntary offseason program. So no reason to think that this won't get done, and no reason to think that he would hold out of any part of training camp, considering he's already been to stuff he didn't even have to go to, and he doesn't have the deal done yet. But watch for Parsons to come in ahead of everybody in the league who isn't a quarterback.
Yeah, no doubt that's resetting the market. That training camp for the Cowboys in Oxnard starts in 12 days. Now, a new article out on ESPN.com this morning. Jeremy Fowler polled NFL executives, scouts, and coaches in order to rank the top 10 players at each position. So today we're going to look at the league's top edge rushers. Pertinent based on some of the guys we were just talking about. The AFC North has the top two on the list, with Myles Garrett ranking first for the second straight year, followed by T.J. Watt. The Texans, the only team to have two players in the top 10, Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter. And then Micah Parsons, Max Crosby, and Nick Bosa find themselves in the top five. Again, Patrick Mahomes had some high praise regarding division rival Crosby earlier this week.
He's the best. I mean, I think he sacked me the most out of anyone I've ever played against.
Oh,
so,
really?
I mean, to me, he's the best pass rusher that I've played against. And so, no offense to any other pass rusher, just putting it out there. But he is the best one that I've went up against because he goes out there and he gives you the effort, he has the moves, and he has the skill. And I think that's hard to have all three of those and do that a year in and year out.
The other thing Mahomes has said sometimes when we've met with him before games is that Crosby is one of the biggest trash talkers, too. So that may have been a little reason why he picked him there. Okay, Boog, it sounds like Mahomes disagreed a little bit with that list that you just saw. How about you? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I disagree with it. And let me preface by saying this. When you're choosing from the top 4 or 5 pass rushers in football, it's kind of like choosing how do you want your filet. Some people like theirs rare. Some people like it medium well. I need mine well done. Judge me if you want to. That's on you, not on me. As far as the pass rush is concerned, to me, it's got to be Max Crosby. I think when you look at the skill, you look at the effort, you look at the technique, you look at the moves, nobody does it better. Yes, T.J. Watt looks differently. Yes, Myles Garrett is more of a power guy. Micah Parsons may have a little bit more athleticism, but when you combine everything together, for me, Max Crosby is the best pure pass rusher in football, and there's no way, I mean no other way to eat a filet than well done.
Hey, really fast, Boog, I'm going to have you come over. All right, I'm going to sear your filet really nice, a nice little pepper crust on it. I'll do it medium well for you, even though that's like a little bit off what I would normally do because it should be medium rare. But you're going to change your mind, okay? You must just had some bad steaks in the past. You're wrong about well done.
Not changing my mind, Laura. I promise you, I'm not changing my mind.
D-Wood, go ahead.
Boog, you might as well be burning the steak at this point. I mean, well done. Come on, bro. We got to work on that. But here's what I'm going to say, man. I think the reason that Mahomes has so much admiration for Max Crosby is where he's rushing from. Think about
Skull Nation. Get ready, because something huge might be happening in Minnesota. We're talking about bringing in a true defensive superstar, a guy who's been one of the most dominant forces in the NFL for the past half-decade. TJ Watt could be on his way to the Vikings, and if not him, then buckle up, because Micah Parsons is in the mix too. These aren't just rumors anymore. This is real. The front office is cooking something big, and I'm telling you right now, this move could reshape the identity of this defense heading into 2025. So let's talk about Watt first. He's heading into the final year of his current deal. That's the 4-year, $112 million contract he signed with Pittsburgh back in 2021. At the time, he was the highest paid defensive player in the league. But fast forward to now, he's slipped to 7th among pass rushers in average annual value. Just for perspective, Myles Garrett just inked a deal worth $40 million per year. Watt is nowhere near that right now. Now here's the kicker. The Steelers don't want to pay him big again. They're reportedly hesitant to give a high-value extension because of his age. He turns 31 soon, and they'd rather see him finish his career in Pittsburgh on their terms. But Watt? From what's being reported, he's not against leaving if the right offer comes in, and Minnesota is very much in the mix. Multiple insiders are saying the Vikings are willing to trade for Watt and offer him a new deal that reflects his value as one of the game's best edge rushers. Not necessarily topping Garrett, but definitely competitive enough to make it worth Watt's while. Think about this defense with TJ Watt lined up on the edge. You'd have Watt opposite Jonathan Greenard, with Dallas Turner, our future star, rotating in. And let's not forget what we already added up front. Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, Harrison Phillips in the trenches. This front seven would go from solid to absolutely terrifying. Watt's production speaks for itself. 96.5 career sacks, 6 Pro Bowls, 2021 Defensive Player of the Year. And he's still playing at an elite level. We know Brian Flores would unleash him in this scheme. This wouldn't just improve our pass rush, it would elevate everyone around him. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. If the Watt deal falls through, don't think the Vikings are walking away. Micah Parsons is very much on the radar. Parsons is still on his rookie deal with the Cowboys, but he wants a new contract, and not just any contract. Word around the league is he's pushing to become the highest paid defensive player in NFL history. Maybe even a deal in the range of $200 million total, with $90 to $100 million guaranteed. If that deal doesn't get done by the time training camp starts on July 21st, he's still expected to report, but he won't practice. That's a clear message to Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. Pay me or trade me. And let's be honest, Jerry's patience isn't endless. There's a world where he gets fed up and pulls the trigger on a trade. If that happens, don't be shocked if the Vikings are first in line. Look, whether it's Watt or Parsons, the fact that we're even in these conversations tells you something. The Vikings aren't rebuilding. We're going for it. And if we land either of these guys, you pair them with this new look defense, with guys like Byron Murphy, Jeff Okudah, and rookie Dallas Turner. And suddenly, this unit is capable of carrying us deep into January. But I want to hear from you guys. Would you rather see the Vikings trade for TJ Watt, the veteran legend, or swing for the fences with Micah Parsons, even if it means a record-breaking deal? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be replying to a bunch of you, and hey, if you're fired up like I am, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications, because if this deal happens, you better believe Report Vikings will be the first to break it down. Skol!